Michael Hayes, 47 years old, homeless for 6 months, lost his job, lost his apartment, lost everything, but he never lost his faith. December 23rd, 2023, Chicago, 19 degrees. Michael sat outside a coffee shop with a cardboard sign. Anything helps. God bless. He'd been there since 6 a.m. It was now 4 p.m. Cold, dark. He'd made exactly $1. One single dollar bill in his coat pocket. That's when he saw her, a young mother with a baby, cry on a bench across the street. And Michael had to make a choice that would change everything. Michael knew that feeling. The desperation, the hopelessness, the crying when you think no one's watching. He looked at his dollar, his only dollar, the only money between him and absolute zero. He could buy coffee, get warm for an hour. He stood up, his legs stiff from sitting in the cold for 10 hours, and walked across the street. Every step was a choice. Every step was faith over logic. He approached the bench. The woman didn't look up, too lost in her pain. Michael bent down and placed his dollar bill on the bench beside her. Then he walked away without saying a word. The woman's name was Sarah, 23 years old, baby girl named Hope. Eviction notice came this morning. She had 3 days to find $800 or they were on the street. Her husband left 6 months ago. No child support, no family, no options. She'd spent the last hours sitting on that bench trying to figure out what to do. When she finally looked down, she saw the dollar. She picked it up, confused, looked around, saw Michael walking away in the distance. A homeless man had just given her his only dollar. She broke, completely broke, not from despair, from the weight of undeserved kindness. Someone with nothing had given her everything he had. She looked up at the sky, and she prayed, God, if you're listening, please help us both. What happened next, no one can fully explain. Sarah sat there praying for maybe 5 minutes. Then a car pulled up. A woman in her 60s stepped out. White hair, kind face, walked directly to Sarah. I was driving home. Something told me to turn around. I never do that, but I had to. She handed Sarah an envelope. Inside, $800. Exact amount for rent. Cash. The woman smiled. I don't know why, but this is for you. She got back in her car and drove away. Sarah opened the envelope, counted $800. Exactly. She looked across the street. Michael was gone, but God wasn't. Michael walked until he found an empty bus shelter. Sat down. No dollar now. No coffee. No warmth. Just the cold and the night. He prayed quietly. Thank God he had something to give, even if it left him with nothing. Around 8 p.m., a man approached. Suit and tie. Briefcase. I saw what you did. Earlier, at the bench. Michael looked up, confused. I was in that coffee shop. Saw everything through the window. You gave that woman your only dollar, didn't you? Michael nodded. The man sat down beside him. I'm a social worker. I also run a hiring program for people experiencing homelessness. He handed Michael a business card. Be at this address Monday. 9 a.m. I have a job for you and a place to stay tonight. 3 months later, Michael started the job. Studio apartment provided for first month. Sarah and baby Hope moved into new apartment. Paid rent with a mysterious $800. She got a job at a daycare. Brings Hope with her. They're making it. One day, Michael was walking to work. He saw the same coffee shop. Remembered that December night. And there, sitting on the same bench, was the elderly woman. The one who gave Sarah the $800. She looked up, smiled. Hello, Michael. He stopped, frozen. How do you know my name? She smiled wider. The same way I knew she needed exactly $800. She stood up, walked away, and vanished into the morning crowd. Michael stood there, stunned. Then he noticed something on the bench. An envelope, white, with his name on it. Inside, a note. What you did that night started a chain. Sarah's landlord, moved by her story, reduced her rent permanently. She told her employer. They hired 3 more single mothers. One of them was my daughter. You saved her. When you gave your last dollar, you gave more than money. You gave hope, and hope multiplies. Keep giving. A grateful mother. Michael looked up. The woman was gone. He walked to work. Different now. Understanding something profound. Generosity doesn't make you poor. It makes you rich. That homeless man's $1 started a chain reaction that changed lives. Sarah and Hope thriving. 3 single mothers employed. A grandmother grateful. Michael restored. All from $1. Given by someone who had nothing. This is how heaven works. When you give your last, God gives his best. When you pour out, he fills up. The math doesn't make sense, but the miracle does. If this story moved you, you've been touched by heaven. Subscribe for more true stories of radical generosity, rewarded. Comment, I'll give, if you're ready to trust God with what you have, even when it's all you have, especially then.